Hello everyone, welcome to TSAM. My name is Anna and today I have the pleasure of speaking to Adam Granger. He's the founder and MD of Accomplish. Hi Adam, it's great to have you here today. Would you like to start off by introducing yourself?
Hi, Anna. Thank you very much for having me. It's great to be here. And thank you for showcasing Accomplish at the upcoming TSAM conference in London. I'm Adam Granger, the founder and MD of Accomplish. I served, prior to setting up Accomplish, I served in the global investment industry for 20 years in COO and transformation director roles. And I have an MBA from the London Business School, where I studied behavioral decision making.
That's great. Thank you so much for the intro, Adam. So Accomplish is a relatively new company, I think a few years now. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. To keep it really simple, we manage the global asset management industry's benchmark of client behavior. So it's a unique source of business intelligence that gives asset management firms insights into the behavior of their institutional and intermediary clients in comparison with their competitors and across the different regions of the world.
This is really interesting and fascinating, but I've never heard of this before. So how does it actually work?
So we use a proprietary, what we call an hourglass client journey that I'll explain in a moment. And it was designed as part of the industry-wide collaboration between leading asset management firms and Accomplish that resulted in what is now the behavioral benchmark. And the hourglass is essentially end-to-end, and it includes strategic, dollarizable client behaviors, like whether they buy, whether they stay, whether they buy more second and third products, as well as the sort of tactical behavioral indicators that sit between those. So really quick example, you might want to know the relationship between your RFP success rate and your final sales conversion rate, or between your event attendance rate and sales conversion, or lastly, between your client meeting volumes and say average client retention, or your ratio of products per clients. And you can do all those sort of things on the behavioral benchmark.
That sounds really amazing. Wow. So what are they doing with this information then?
So on one level, it's enabling them to measure, compare, and predict their effect on their clients' behavior, which is no small thing. But in Accomplish, we also believe that while data is valuable for sure, it's the insights that you take from that data that are really vital. As a result, each of our asset manager clients receives a quarterly business review that includes independent insights, hypotheses, recommendations about their data. So from our central vantage point, what do we see in their data? So on another level, they're using those insights to see how they compare. Firstly, of three things, so that they can embed client behaviors into their business targets. So annual business targets, they can now set informed targets instead of just competing against themselves, basically, by trying to beat their AUM or their revenue results from last year. They're now also trying to beat objective, quantifiable benchmarks on how well they get clients to buy, to stay, and to buy more. And in a relational business, that's not unimportant for managing profitability. The second of three things that they're doing, three big things, is that they're using the metrics on the hourglass to connect that client journey, to reduce what we call client leakage from one stage to another. So an email marketing manager can now see how they compare at converting email interest into web visitors, and the web team can see how they compare at holding visitors' attention online, and how they then convert time spent on, say, thought leadership pages into event attendance, where a relationship manager can speak with a client or a prospect directly. And then thirdly, and lastly, they're using the benchmark because we run it quarterly to respond much more quickly than they've been able to in the past to changes in client behavior. Certainly much more quickly than is possible than with, say, an annual client survey, where at the end of last year, let's say it takes you a couple of months to initiate the survey, a couple of months to receive and to process the responses. You're then considering acting on data that is anywhere between 5 and 16 months, all the way off the screen, anywhere between 5 and 16 months old. And that is assuming that the survey respondents actually can remember that far back. Which is just one of the flaws of relying solely on feedback data that the behavioral benchmark looks to counteract. And we discussed that a lot on our website, which is accomplish.world.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Adam. Lastly, just wanted to know, what would you like people to do after they watch this video?
Okay, great. One, typical buyers of the benchmark are heads of client insights, distribution COOs, and heads of client experience. So if you're not that person, send a link to this video to that person in your organization, so they most fundamentally of all know that this new benchmark exists. Two, if you are that person, go to accomplish.world, where you can find much more information. You can research the benchmark fully, and you can book a demo of it with me. And thirdly, of course, come to TSAM. Come to TSAM. It's the market-leading conference where you can catch up on the latest developments in the industry. And when you're there, pop over to the Accomplish stand, where my colleague John and we'd love to see you, we'd love to meet you, answer your questions about how you can make more of the effect that your asset management firm has on whether clients buy, stay, or buy more.
This has been so wonderful, Adam, speaking to you today. Thank you so much for the overview.
It's been great to see you again.
We look forward to seeing you at TSAM London on the 7th and 8th of June. So everybody who wants to register, they can have a free pass and come along and meet you and the team. So we look forward to that. Thank you.
Super. Have a good day. Bye.